Egusi cabbage is a very tasty dish and I'm here to show you how to cook it. Well, I am here with my mother. So in today's video, we will be showing you how to cook egusi cabbage. To begin, you're going to shred your cabbage. You can shred it in whichever way you want. You can shred it in whichever size, using whichever tool. You can even use a salad grater to shred this cabbage, but that is going to make your cabbage so thin, so everything depends on you. In other cases, some people wash their cabbage with just salt, but I have heard most times that this causes your cabbage to be very strong when you wash it with salt. Now, after shredding your cabbage, you're going to add in hot water or water which must have boiled to the cabbage. Soak it in salted water for 10 to 15 minutes. Rinse, strain, and squeeze. This is what we have. For our second ingredient, we need egusi, which is very much important. We are going to grind our egusi, and this is what we have. Our very third ingredient here is tomatoes, and whichever way you decide to slice your tomatoes depends on you. You can actually use a blender. Now we equally need some onions, and this is what we have. We need some ginger, garlic, and pepper, and we are going to proceed to blend it. For our protein of choice, we'll use some fish and meat. You can add in cow skin. Now we are going to season with some salt, maggi, pepper, and onions. Then add in very little water and proceed to cook it. After cooking it, this is what we have. We are going to transfer it into an empty bowl. At this point, you can separate the fish and meat because you'll be using the fish last. This is what we have, and we are just going to set it aside while we start cooking our meal proper. To an empty pot, we are going to add in some cooking oil. Whichever oil you use is okay. Saute some onions. This is because we want to enhance the flavor, and we are going to add in some ginger and garlic paste. After grinding our pepper on a grinding stone, we decided to go in with whole peppers. This is because not everybody eats pepper in the house. So this is a bonus tip. If nobody eats pepper in your house, learn to add your pepper as a whole. So whoever eats pepper is just going to press it. Proceed to add in some salt and give this a good mix. Once you have sauteed properly, you're going to add in your tomatoes and cook alongside our meat. This is because we want the meat to properly cook in our tomatoes. This will help the meat taste properly and also help it become soft. We are going to add our egusi at this point. So after grinding our egusi, we proceeded to add our meat stock to our egusi and give it a good mix. This is so that it is going to have a proper taste. That is why we used our stock. You can as well just add the stock into the pot and use water to form your paste, but either ways we decided to go that way. Now you're going to fill in the holes with some water so that this egusi properly cooks. I'll take you guys through the steps of cooking your egusi until it gets ready. This is because if egusi is not properly cooked, it is going to disturb your stomach. And how therefore do you know that egusi is cooked? Even with the eye grains, it becomes very formed and visible. Here it looks a little bit soft in the sense that if you mix it anyhow, it is definitely going to scatter. But when egusi is cooked, the grains are looking cooked. It is clear. Even the taste is very much different. So to the corners, you're going to add in some water to enable your egusi cook. So after several minutes, you're just going to open gently or carefully with your spoon and adding water to the holes that you have made. This is so that the egusi does not get burnt underneath. So to this pot again, we are going to add some water into the holes that we have formed so our egusi does not get burnt. So in other cases, you can just use your spoon to actually open and add water. Now you do that until this egusi gets ready. Another simple method, or a simpler method I'd rather say, is for you to mix your egusi with your stock or water, put in a plastic, tie and keep in the pot of plantain that you are boiling or yam. Once it is ready, you can just add it to the pot and cut with a knife. But trust me, this method that is being shown to you guys here is way more better, because you will be able to adjust your seasonings even at the level of cooking your egusi. So just continue to fill in water into the many holes until your egusi is ready. Once your egusi is properly cooked, you're going to give it a good stir, meaning you can now mix everything together, because your grains or lumps have already been formed and have been properly cooked. Now that this pot is like this, you're going to proceed to either adjust your seasonings or just let it cook further. This egusi cooked for a total of 20 to 25 minutes on high heat. That is the reason why we kept on adding water, so it does not get burnt. Then you can cook it on low heat and for longer. So we have proceeded to adding our seasoning cubes. That's because everything that we are doing at this level is to adjust the taste before proceeding to adding our cabbage. Add your cabbage in batches, and this is definitely because you do not want to overdo with your cabbage. So after adding some, you're going to give it a good mix, and this is so that you'll be able to adjust with time. That's why I always say it is good to add small so you can add for long, than to just add so much and then you cannot reduce it. So now we are just going to continue to add and then continue to mix. This is so that we actually get the right amount. If there's excess, we are going to store in the freezer. So we are going to mix this properly and make sure that everything is well put together. If you think we had forgotten to add our crayfish, no, we haven't. And we are going to add our crayfish at this level and give it a good mix. Now this is fine. Now after adding your crayfish, you either adjust the seasonings, that's if need be. If there is no need, then that's okay, because crayfish definitely helps to balance up the taste of food. So add in some oil and you're going to mix. I paired this with fufu corn because this is how I love to eat my egusi cabbage. You can eat it with either yam or plantain. For our very last activity, we are going to add our fish to the pot. We did not add it earlier so it does not scatter. So we are going to add it at the end. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.